Okay, so let's see if we can cover some entry-level peer-reviewed research using our college's online library. And this will take about 5–10 minutes. Maybe I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes. And this should just give you at least the basic stepping stones you need to get started doing college-level research. So in any Canvas course, look over to the left and you'll have Library Resources. You want to click that and then click Launch Library Resources. This will take you to a page that all Florida colleges and universities use, and you're going to have to learn how to play with this on your own. There are all different ways that you can refine your search, and that's up to you to kind of develop your own search technique. I'm just showing you the basics so that you can find peer-reviewed research, because that's something you're going to need to know how to do for pretty much any of your classes. So I'm going to do a search for global warming, and since I'm looking for peer-reviewed articles, I have to come over and limit my search to articles. Now, this is going to throw back 150,000 hits or something like that. Of course, you're not going to be able to use all of them. You want to make sure, and over here to the left, limit your search to peer-reviewed journals. And again, this is going to throw back 88,000 hits, and that's a lot of material to comb through, but this is at least a very simple starting point. And so you're going to have to learn how to kind of navigate all of this, how to limit your search by year, by publication type, by author, whatever. That's up to you to kind of practice on your own time. Now, another method you can use to find peer-reviewed research, in addition to just using this basic search, you can jump into specific databases. Now, if you think about it, the library screen that we're looking at here, this is something that all Florida colleges access, and it's almost unlimited. Databases are a little more limited, and you can think of these almost like the magazine rack. The magazine rack holds the magazines, and the magazines contain articles. Same thing. So the database contains journals, and journals contain articles. So you can just see here there are 26 letters in the alphabet, and every single one has, who knows, a bunch of journals. Or I'm sorry, a bunch of databases. So I like to use a handful. One of my favorites is Academic OneFile, so let's click on that. Here's how you find peer-reviewed research in Academic OneFile. And again, it's up to you to play around and figure out how you want to search by year, by subject, by keyword, or whatever. But I want to at least show you the basic steps. So we're going to do global warming again. Always limit to full text documents. That way you don't get stuck with abstracts. Definitely limit to peer-reviewed journals. Otherwise, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. And then you hit search. Now you can see here it's going to throw back tons and tons of hits. And so again, not all of these are going to work. So you're going to have to narrow your search various ways by clicking on, you notice over here, the document type or the journal type over here on the right. There are all sorts of things you can do. Some teachers want you to have research that's very, very current, so you can limit your search that way. Here's something that I think is applicable to pretty much any class. If you have the option to look at an article as a PDF, you can see here I have my cursor over the download PDF, use that. And the reason you want to download the PDF if you have the option is because the PDF will look exactly like the article that you would read if you picked it up off the shelf, in a magazine. And so take a look at what that gives you here. You can blow it up, and it provides page numbers. And that is really important because MLA requires that you cite last name and page numbers. And so the PDF makes those available to you. Whereas if you read the article just as an HTML file, you see here, you don't get any page numbers. So that's just kind of a tip to keep you moving. So again, Academic OneFile, it's up to you to learn how to navigate this thing. I'm just showing you the very, very basics to get you started. You'll just get more experience as you go, and hopefully by the end of the semester you'll be a pro at this. Another database that I really like is JSTOR. And so let's click on JSTOR. What I like about JSTOR is everything in here is peer-reviewed. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll be able to use everything you find, but it is peer-reviewed. So let's look for global warming again. So when it comes to JSTOR, I always tell my students to limit their search to journals, because some teachers accept books, but in my class we're using peer-reviewed journals. And so you can see here, and you have the option to download the PDF, and I think that's a wise choice, and there are all sorts of limiters, just like when we were looking at Academic OneFile. If you look over to the left, you can narrow even further. So you want to be aware that it's up to you to learn how to narrow your search by year or by subject or by author. You have to learn how to play with this. But Academic OneFile and JSTOR, I think, are probably two of my favorite databases. There's another good one that you're probably already used to using in this class, and it's Humanities Source. This is the one that has the explicator. And by the way, the quiz word for this week is journal. So Humanities Source is probably not going to be very helpful if you're in one of the STEM classes, but if you're taking a world religions class or it's a class, a literature class like what you're taking here, this can be very, very helpful. And so you wanted to look for one of the stories that we're reading, like Hills Like White Elephants. Notice it pops right up, and you do your quick search here, and just like anything else, you can limit to full text, and scholarly peer review is something you definitely want to do. And notice we get down to 26 articles. You have the option to view them as PDFs or HTML. Always choose PDF so you get the page number. And everything you're looking at here is going to be peer reviewed and definitely appropriate for the work that you're doing in my class. So this was just a really quick intro to doing peer-reviewed research. It's up to you to get out there and play around. You had to learn how to use the internet at some point. You had to learn how to use Google. The same thing goes for searching these databases. You're going to have to learn what works and what doesn't through trial and error, and that's a lot of what this course is all about.